From the News Channel 5 Network, this is OpenLine.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to OpenLine. It's been a while since I've been with you on Monday night, so I'm glad to be back here with you on this evening. And we have an important topic tonight to talk about, and it is the homelessness situation in Nashville. We're going to be talking with the folks from Open Table, but this is a topic that Nashville has to attack. We have to figure out, and we have to come up with some answers, because a lot of change is happening very quickly here, and there are people who hang in the balance, and that's what this is about. It is about people. So tonight, if you want to call into OpenLine to talk about the homelessness situation in Nashville, to talk about what's happening at Fort Negley, this is the night to call. You know the number, it's on the screen, 615-737+. Let me introduce you to the folks who are going to be spending the next hour with us. We have Samuel Lester and Lindsay Krinks, both from Open Table, an outreach program that works right alongside the homeless to find them suitable housing, to find them a better way of life, hopefully. Thank you all so much for spending this hour here.
Thank you for inviting us.
I know you're going to educate us so much about what is happening out there on the ground, but first I want to bring people up to date. We've been talking about Fort Negley so much in the news lately. I want to show you what's been happening over the last 48, 72 hours. So here you go.
From the road, you can't see them, but in Fort Negley Park, people who have fallen hard on their luck have set up camp.
I don't like to use the word homeless anymore. We're residentially declined.
Stephen Hopper has only been in the camp for about 2 weeks, but after finding out he, along with people he calls his family, were going to be evicted by the city, he helped plan a rally to get the message across. Homelessness is not a crime.
When do we want it?
The rally and support did keep the city from shutting down the camp for now, but the people of this community are fearful of what will come next, hoping Mayor Barry will come up with a solution that doesn't involve bulldozing their camp.
Well, we don't want to kick anybody out. We want to help them find a place, and that's what we've been working on for the last 4 months.
While those in the camp are all for getting help, they say the options presented aren't for them. It would either split up their family or is a worse alternative to their current situation.
We're trying to get our lives back on track.
At this encampment, people help one another. They build fire pits for each other, help pitch tents, and they care.
Steve was good. Steve was good, big time.
Taz and Chris reminisced of a friend who helped a lot of people in this camp and ended up helping himself to get back on his feet, thanks to the freedom and 6 months of support he was given at this camp.
It was worth helping. The man was worth helping. 6 months later, he's back in the job, and he's gotten back on his feet because he had a place to start. That's what we need to do for all Americans.
Support as well as time. Time to find a job, time to find a decent place to live, and time to get a plan together.
When we ain't bothering nobody, we ain't criminals. I mean, it's not a crime to breathe. It's not a crime to try to survive.
In Nashville, Jesse Knutson, News Channel 5.
I think that story shows you so many of the issues that we're going to be talking about tonight, is the criminalization of the homeless, about the homeless are not hopeless, and just really, what do we do? What is the answer here? Because somehow all these sides need to come together, and we have to find a solution. And that's where we start with Samuel and Lindsay. You guys have been working on this for a long time. Tell me about Open Table. Where do you all come at the homeless issue with this?
Yeah, so Open Table was founded in 2010 after the flood, after another camp closed based on natural disasters. And we're an interfaith homeless outreach nonprofit, so instead of people coming to us in our office, we go out to them. And in addition to helping people navigate the resources and find housing, we are also there to work on the systemic issues that are affecting homelessness and poverty. Because if we just do the charity and the service and the mercy part, which we're really good at, but neglect the justice, then nothing changes in the system. So that's a little bit about us. We really love the people we work with, and we are there to break cycles of poverty, not just help people get into homes.
I almost feel bad saying the homeless, because I know that these people, they're people. They are people just like you and me, who maybe have had a lot more bad luck and maybe not so blessed as you and me. I don't know, they may not look at it like that. I know some of them don't. But I don't know, I want a better word than just saying the homeless, because these are probably some of your friends, the people you spend most of the time with during the day.
Yeah.
You know, we prefer the word unhoused or people experiencing homelessness, because it's not a permanent state. unless society insists on making it so. If society chooses to do things that make it worse and keep people from getting out of it, then it continues. But there are definite things that can be done to change that situation, and that's what we're concerned with.
And right now we're really focused on Fort Negley because of what's been happening. There's been this rolling deadline for several months now, like it's going to close, or so it's closed in September. Then the mayor came into office and said, hey, let's give it some more time, let's have some discussions, let's figure this out. Then it was last Friday night, 11 o'clock, Fort Negley is supposed to be no more. That rolled for a couple of days. 6 citations were handed out, what, last night? Last night. And no arrest made, no people.
No arrests.
Were they forced out at all, do you all know?
Not that we know of. So, but the citations were handed out, and there's a court date on Wednesday
That people are supposed to show up for, to answer to. So this is moving into the court system.
Right.
And this is something I know that you all really wanted to avoid, that homelessness is not a crime.
Right.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Give me the history a little bit about Fort Negley. How did this come to be? What is it like there?
Sure. Well, it's a Civil War fort that was destroyed at one point and then rebuilt. So it's what we see today is a recreation. The interesting thing about the side that people are camping on is that there were once houses in there until the 20s or 30s. If you go out and look, you can find foundations of them. So it's not historically preserved in the way that some people might imagine, but people have camped there for as long as memory goes, starting from the time immediately after the Civil War. But I spoke with the historical archivist at Fort Negley, who said she knew people were camping up in the fort in 1994. And we have known people camping there basically since then.
And most recently, how big of a community has this become?
It was about 50 or so people before the police started coming up multiple times a day to tell people April 15th, April 15th. A few of those people have gotten into housing, but a lot of the people went to other campsites. So they were scared, they didn't want the drama of the police coming in. So now they're just in other places. There are about 12 to 15 people remaining that we know of right now, and 6 were given the citations. So it's not like we solved it and we only have 12 now. It's just that other camps are bigger and more tense now.
And you just kind of have to wonder when the focus shifts to another camp, right? I mean, that's going to happen,
Absolutely.
because that's what always happens.
Exactly.
Historically, they've been driven around the city like pariahs. Most of the people that are experiencing homelessness in Nashville are residents that have lived here or the region for a long time, and they pay taxes like everybody else, sales taxes, right? But unfortunately, they don't have houses. That's the big difference. And sadly, no place to go but the streets for many of them, because there are a number of couples, several pregnant women, there are people with pets. They can't get into the usual shelters.
Let's talk about that, because most people say, we have shelters, we have systems. Go there, you will be fed. What's the problem? But there are problems. Not everyone is welcome in their type of living situation.
Right.
Absolutely. People that work late hours can't get in time to get a bed. As I said, people that are couples can't stay together. I don't know if the viewers can imagine your wife is pregnant. Do you want to leave her and let her go to another shelter while you're in another shelter that are essentially about 2 miles apart from each other, having to try to reconnect, often without a phone during the day? People with pets, people that have pets know how much pets mean. And for people that are on the street, that sort of companionship changes everything. It stabilizes them. It makes them feel like they have a companion that loves them constantly, no matter what they're going through.
We have so much unraveling to do, and I know you guys do it every day, so I'm glad we have a whole hour to attack this issue. If you want to call in, now is your chance to talk really to the experts, the people who are hands-on with the folks who are homeless on the streets right now. So give us a call. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, more of this topic. Stay with us.